Okay, honey, here it is. Check it out. What I've been talking about for weeks now. All your dreams. Yeah.
That's a nice looking review, honey.
Ashley, would you give me a moment along with my associate?
Sure.
Correct me if I am wrong. But did I, or did I not tell you to watch this particular bag?
Yeah, I was watching the bag underwear the whole time.
It wasn't underwear when I left. It was a review for DC Cab. Ashley was right. You are an ox and a moron.
How did the DC Cab review turn into a bag underwear?
That's what I'm asking you.
Maybe it was a miracle. No, like the loaves and the fishes?
Do you like fun and adventure? Then sit back and enjoy the Brothers Not Lovers as they discuss all things movies. What's overrated or underrated? What makes you go really? Or how dare you? Or even just simply how funny this movie can be. You have the insightful, intuitive Davey, who is awesome. And you have the film bestie, Josh. He's there.
Hey boss,
What?
you sure there was a review in that bag?
Yep, but Robbie Kindler stole it.
Robert Kindler's got it.
No, he stole it, then he gave it back to me.
Why'd he give it back to you?
To buy back the jewels.
What jewels?
The jewels he stole from me.
He stole jewels from you too?
Yeah, so he could take my author.
Ken Lindsay.
Not Ken Lindsay, Eugene Lindsay.
How come nobody's heard of this author, Eugene Lindsay?
Because he's not really an author, capiche?
Yeah, I get it. Your author is not your author, and the review that used to be the jewels is now your underwear.
Now you got it.
I got it. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
Hi, I'm Davey, and I'm awesome.
Davey?
Eh.
Davey?
I'm over here. Literally next to you.
Oh, cool. How's it going, man?
This is Josh, the film bestie.
This is Davey. Thinks he's awesome.
I don't think nothing. Today we are going to be reviewing a movie from our childhood.
Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets? Finally!
So many things wrong with that. First of all, no, we're not doing that. Second, you were in your late 20s when that came out.
Oh, yeah. I felt like a child when I saw it.
A movie that by the time I was in kindergarten and you were in first grade, our parents were like, will you stop watching this movie? We're so sick of it. And as we review this movie, you're going to understand how disturbing that is. This movie was made in 1983, and it was written and directed by Joel Schumacher. Yes, the Batman ruiner.
Dude, you gotta let it go.
Let
He
it
did
go.
The Wiz.
So,
Falling Down. A Time to Kill.
really?
Flatliners. The Lost Boys.
Okay, fine. He did some good movies, but he still ruined Batman.
It was the studio. And yes, they deserve to die. And I hope they burn in hell.
It was also written by Bob Zamuda. Yes, the partner of Andy Kaufman. Topper Karu, who also produced the movie. And it was made by the Gaber Peters Company, RKO Pictures, and Universal Pictures, who also distributed it. Ladies and gentlemen, the classic comedy that never got the play it deserved. DC Cab!
DC Cab.
The movie opens with a lone cab driver with rollers in his hair being chased by other cab drivers in masks.
Oh man, this scene used to scare the pants off me.
I know. I used to wonder if this was a horror movie.
Run, Tyrone, run!
And just as they've got him,
Time out, fool!
Yeah, time out, guys. Fools.
he's asking them to help him find the roller that fell out of his hair.
Hey, you gotta take care of the hair.
Yeah.
Suckers! You catch me?
Classic Tyrone.
Apparently this is a game that they like to play when they should be working.
I'm sorry, sir. All our cabs seem to be busy right now.
We like to have fun here.
Then is the first time we get introduced to Mr. T. He's in this movie playing a character named Samson.
Hey, scabbing no hotel.
He's breaking up a prostitution deal between a John and a prostitute in the back of his cab.
My cab ain't no motel.
He said it!
Okay? He even asks her why she would do such a thing.
I need the bread.
Then get a job at the bakery.
You know, there was a lot of controversy surrounding the fact that Mr. T was in this movie because he was such a popular kid's character at the time, but he still held up to his morals. Marsha Warfield is also in this movie. She plays Ophelia.
Morning, baby.
Come on.
She gets robbed a lot.
Hey, one more time around the block, Ophelia. Just one more time.
Then the movie's lead, Albert Hockenberry, played by Adam Baldwin.
Boo!
He's not one of those Baldwins.
Oh, cool.
He is in DC, going to DC Cab, looking for the owner, Harold.
Harold? Harold?
He asks a homeless man living in one of the beat-down cabs, Mr. Rhythm, if he could help him find Harold.
Mr. Rhythm's got good advice.
Very helpful. When he finally meets Harold,
God darn.
Oh, jeez.
turns out that Albert's father and Harold served together in Vietnam and were very close at one point.
Albert was in Vietnam, too.
What?
Yeah, he was in there with Matthew Modine. They got trained at that one boot camp by Arlie Emery.
That was Full Metal Jacket. That was a different character. You know, sometimes actors do play other characters, right?
Hey Dad, can I ask you a question?
Not right now. I'm looking for a bag just like this one.
Oh, that one? I already gave it to Rob Kindler's driver.
You did what?
Yeah, he came to the door, said he needed the bag, so I made the switch for you.
And where was Einstein during all of this?
Is Uncle Josh here? Uncle Josh, were you here? I didn't see him.
Why don't you come over here and sit next to your uncle? Mush! Harold introduces Albert to his wife Myrna.
How do you do?
Myrna is... what is a delicate way to put it?
Bitch!
I was looking for a delicate way to put it.
You seen this movie? That is delicate.
Fair enough. We also meet Dell, played by Gary Busey.
The Busey! Busey! Abuse me! Sorry, I'm a fan.
Dell is very inappropriate with Harold's wife, even to the point of telling her the only thing wrong with oral sex.
And what is that?
The View.
As Harold and Albert are talking, a Mr. Bravo comes up. He is the hack inspector, and he is there to talk to Harold about one of his drivers, Tyrone, who took a foreign couple to an airport, which he was not licensed to do, and charged them $195 when he should have only charged them $12.
They had a lot of luggage.
They had a lot of luggage.
Dude!
Well, sorry. No, they had a lot of luggage. Mouth was full.
I don't know if that justifies $195, but okay. Later, Harold and Albert are at Harold's place, and Harold is setting him up a nice little spot on the couch. Even shows him what he can do to stay warm.
Oh, you gotta get me one of those.
No! He also tells Albert that as long as he's in DC, he can stay with him and Myrna. But Albert tells him he's not visiting. He's there to break into the business.
What business?
Cab business.
The next day, Albert starts to go cruising around with some of the other cab drivers. The first is Xavier, played by Paul Rodriguez.
Hey, I find the right one and she keeps me in style. Yeah?
He tells Albert it's tough to be a cab driver.
It's not easy being a passenger either.
Man, he's gonna get some bad ratings on Yelp.
This is way before Yelp and way before Uber or anything like that, dude. Way before.
Yeah, how do people get around?
Cabs.
Like the movie.
Then he's riding around with Dell, and they pick up a woman who's on her way to work, and she is a topless waitress.
Server, dude.
Don't be that guy. Now, for obvious reasons, there's a lot of this scene that I cannot show. But part of what I can show you is where she stiffs them.
Hey, where's my fare?
Call the cops, wise ass.
So Dell sends Albert in to get the money that she owes them. When he tries to go collect, she tells one of the bouncers that he was trying to rope her. So Dell goes in to get it.
Whoa! You got away. Seriously, you're not going to show any of this?
You know I can't.
I know.
That's really all I can show to you because of the obvious amount of breasts in this scene.
We watched this in kindergarten.
Then we see Albert with Buddy and Buzzy, and they are played by Peter Paul and David, the Barbarian twins.
Rest in peace, Davey.
David. He's David. I'm Davey.
I was talking about you.
You're threatening me? The twins are driving in reverse because their cab is broken, and Albert is nervous.
Take it easy, Albert. We've never been in a car accident. Ever. Never.
Yeah, except with some gamma radiation. But then they tell Albert a story about an accident involving their brother-in-law and his boss.
Oh my God, I'm dead!
It didn't go well for the boss.
Yeah.
Then Albert is with Samson,
How many times I gotta tell you kids to stay away from this drug dealing pimp?
who in typical Mr. T fashion is the voice of good and morality in the ghetto. 'Cause he's a good guy.
Wasn't so nice to Sylvester Stallone. Or his wife.
Albert also meets Samson's niece, Jolene.
Jolene, this is Albert. I'm teaching him to be a cab driver. Let's take you to school.
I'll pity the fool who doesn't stay in school.
We didn't.
Oh, yeah. Have you noticed there's a theme going on with these guys? None of them want to be cab drivers.
I don't think any cab drivers want to be cab drivers. Back at Harold's,
No one left me a beer.
apparently she needed a beer to enjoy Johnny Carson and help her sleep at night. Which I totally understand. I used to have to do whippets to enjoy that show that Carson Daly used to host.
Yeah, that's coming back, bro.
Good night! Harold tries to tell her that he's gonna go get some, but she's pissed.
I wouldn't drink a beer now!
Women. Then we do some more catching up with Ophelia.
Well, good morning, honey. Come on, come on, come on.
Why don't you just avoid going down that street?
Or lock the door.
Something. Ophelia wants to quit.
It's the third time this month I've been ripped off by the same punk, and I'm not having it no more.
Again, avoid that street.
Or lock the door.
Harold talks her out of it, and immediately Albert looks over, and Dell is on the floor of the bathroom right underneath the stall.
Just doing some intestinal yoga.
Dude, do you even get it?
I don't have to. The Busemeister gets it.
Later, Mr. Rhythm is cleaning out some of Harold's cabs, and he finds something. Then the next morning at a diner that they all like to hang out, the cab drivers are having breakfast. And Albert notices Claudette,
Bitch!
played by Jill Scholler. That's not sanitary.
And take your eyes off my granddaughter, Cabby.
Yeah, dude, she's only 17.
Stay Nevada.
Then the DC cab drivers get harassed by a couple of Emerald cab drivers.
Get a pail of oats for the last of the Mohicans here.
That is legendary comedy writer and co-conspirator of Andy Kaufman, Bob Zamuda.
And for your FYI, Daniel Day-Lewis was the last of the Mohicans.
Mr. Bravo comes in to tell everybody that a famous violinist was in a DC cab and left his prized violin in the cab, and he's offering a huge reward for it. While looking in his cab, Samson notices his niece Jolene in that pimp's car.
I'll kill you, punk, if I ever see you with my niece again. And I go for your boys, too.
She swears she didn't mean anything by it. She just wanted to ride in the pretty car.
Harold had a car.
Yes, we know, and he didn't like paying for parking.
If he would have just paid for parking, he'd still be alive.
It was Harold's wife that...
Bitch!
Tyrone doesn't have it, and Albert takes advantage of this.
I am riding with you today, Tyrone.
So Tyrone takes him around.
Tyrone drives us to work every day.
And when they get to their work...
They are my babies.
Apparently this happens a lot.
How many times have I told you not to throw eggs at Tyrone?
A lot. Then Tyrone takes Albert to the airport, which he should not be at because he does not have an airport license. When they get there, a drunk gets into his cab and asks them to take him to the airport that they're already at. Passes out in the back seat, and Tyrone drives a few feet.
National Airport, $50.
Dude, that totally happened to me.
That's because you're a drunk.
I was sober. No way. Coherent.
Okay, you're a stupid drunk.
Thanks, man.
Anytime. Albert makes Tyrone give the money back. And he also tells him to pull those rollers out of his hair.
You got it.
Dude, it's just a wig.
Oh.
Apparently, Tyrone...
I had to get it out, dude.
Apparently, Tyrone wants people to think he's crazy because he's mad at the system.
I feel you, dude.
Yeah, that's not why you act crazy. So now, he tells Albert to get out of his cab.
Just stay out of my way, Albert.
Yeah, Dad. They did this good.
Thank you. Josh, hold this. I'm talking to. As Albert is walking down the road...
I bet you're gonna tell her all about the drunk and how I left you out here, ain't you?
He says not if he lets him ride with him. That's blackmail.
Dude. Be racist. Everyone can see. They're not blind.
Not that male is black. That's blackmail. As in lording something over someone so you can get them to do what you want. Kind of like how you got me to let you be in these videos.
I'll never tell.
Tyrone is mad because with Albert around, he can't go play in the game.
The game from the beginning of the movie!
Thank you. And tells Albert that in order to play, you have to be a psychic blood brother. But in order to do that...
You got to get a hack license.
It's in the mail.
You got to get a mask.
Oh, that's easy.
And...
You gotta make the run.
The run. The run is as follows. You have to set up your cab on the train tracks and drive for as long as you possibly can.
How do you know when the train's coming? You don't!
Apparently Dale is the one that has the longest run record.
Of course he does, man. Gary Busey. He's crazy.
Tyrone also tells Albert about his father coming back from the war so messed up that he thought he was Jesus. Until he spent some time in an insane asylum. Then he didn't think he was Jesus anymore. He thought he was God.
Which made me Jesus.
Ah!
Then a train starts coming. Oh no! He is stuck! It's too late!
Ah! Ah!
Wow, that was like, get the hell! That was lucky.
I knew it was on the other tracks all the time, just testing your ass.
Oh, did he really?
I'm gonna say no. Back at DC Cab.
The violin!
They found it! Albert is driving him and Tyrone back to the DC Cab Center when...
morning.
Oh, does nobody lock their doors in D.C.?
Tyrone tells Albert to just give him money. But instead, Albert drives off.
Come on! I'm coming in with a gun to my head!
When they get there, Tyrone has gotten the gun, so naturally, they think that he was the robber. The real robber is about to get away. Until...
Good morning.
Good afternoon.
Good evening.
Good night.
As for the reward, Mr. Bravo tells everybody that Harold is going to get it because he owns DC Cab Company. But Harold says he's going to share it with everybody.
Harold! Okay. That's why she wouldn't give him the case of Wonka bars.
Wrong, Harold. But Harold is asking that everybody gives it back and invests in the cab company. They'll be partners, making improvements on the cabs and the company itself, sharing in the profits and the responsibilities.
If I wanted responsibility, I'd have been a damn sex surrogate.
You know, the fact that we watched this so much as kids is really starting to explain you.
What?
Albert finally has his hack license. And his first fare?
Look, lady,
Hi, Albert!
Claudette.
Harold announces to everybody that he is going to be sharing the reward of $10,000.
Get out of my cab, I'm rich! Get out of my cab, I'm rich!
You know, $10,000 split 8 ways is only $1,250 each. That's not that much money. Not even back in '83. Albert is in the back of his cab making out with Claudette.
Ew.
Who, in between kissing, is telling him that she cannot date until she's 18 because her grandmother won't let her. And that she won't be 18 until May.
This is in summertime. May's like almost a year away.
Bye, Albert.
Young girl, get out of my mind. My love for you is way out of line. Back at Harold's, apparently Myrna got to the money first. And she's kicked Harold out and is not letting anybody else in and is making everybody else mad. She tells him to leave and that she's already called the police. But this isn't scaring anybody.
Oh, that did it.
Everyone is ready to quit until Albert is telling them that he's going to share his life savings with them.
What a guy. What a guy. How much is it?
$6,063.
I guess that was a lot of money in the 80s. But his condition, like Harold, is that they need to reinvest it in the DC Cab Company. And with this $6,000, they can get paint jobs on all the cabs. They can improve the cab station itself. They can all get fancy cab jackets. And they can all get airport licenses.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone is making good money now. So Albert goes to the diner to ask permission to take Claudette out.
Have her home by 10:30.
I'd still be like, no, Mr. Statutory. Samson has something to show the street kids.
It's a hotel now.
Tyrone is now selling souvenirs in the middle of DC. And Dell comes up to say hello, how's it going, and tell him how great the cab company is doing. And at that moment across the street, Tyrone notices Irene Cara.
Bitch!
Dude!
Sorry, man, I'm in the zone.
For those of you who don't know, Irene Cara was a famous singer in the 80s.
That's not all she was famous for. Hey, right, Kill Kill?
So in a panic, Tyrone runs over and uses Dell's cab to give her a ride. Albert has taken over giving the maids a ride to work, which means that now he's the one getting egged at all the time. But this time...
Come here, Porky! Hey, what the hell?
And they take Albert hostage as well. They even make Albert do the ransom call.
$2 million in unmarked bills tomorrow midnight.
The feds think that Albert must be a terrorist with bad political affiliations.
Albert don't have no political convictions. He's an American.
Basically, they think he's in on it.
You don't have to shut us
This
down.
company is closed, pending further investigation.
Because of this, Tyrone has a change of heart and decides that he's going to come and help free Albert, because he would have done the same for them. He also knows where they can get some information. So they go to question Denise, but she won't let them in.
I don't know nothing.
Dude, I think she knows something.
Harold goes to get some stuff from his house, and while he's there he finds... Now he wants his flamethrower.
Yeah, he does.
So Mr. Bravo runs.
Wait! No! Murder! Jesus!
Yeah!
Shouldn't have done it. But I'm real glad you did. Goodbye!
Wish the first Harold would have said goodbye.
Albert gets loose and gets to his radio in his cab, and he gets a hold of Mr. Rhythm.
He gives good advice.
He tells Mr. Rhythm that he knows that he's at a farmhouse with a windmill south of the airport. He also tells him that he sees Bruce Lee, which makes no sense because Bruce Lee was dead at that point.
Bruce Lee's not dead. He's cryogenically frozen until the economy gets better.
Thanks, Del.
So they all head out, and Samson and the twins have found the place.
Look at the mailbox, man. It's Bruce Lee.
But that says Bruce Leg.
Oh yeah, hey, looks like it.
Nope. But Tyrone finds Bruce Lee.
I told you it was Bruce Lee. I see it. I see the windmill.
Albert saw the drive-in movie screen.
Bruce Lee.
So the DC cab company goes to the farmhouse.
This is the police.
Pretending to be the police. Inside, the kidnappers are panicking. The female kidnapper even says that they should just execute the hostages.
You are a pitiful
Bitch!
The kidnappers get outside and realize they're just cab drivers.
What?
Cab drivers! Cloverling! They get the kids out, but they still have Albert.
Come on, God, Dickie. Get us out of here, man.
That is a big gun.
The van takes off and a chase ensues.
Not just a chase.
I get him.
Albert gets free.
Man, these guys are terrible at tying knots.
Right? Albert reaches out of the van, but the kidnappers still have his feet.
Tell me you're wearing your daddy's boots.
He is, but why? As far as the van, well, at least it wasn't during the Bruce Lee movie. So now Albert is safe, the kids are safe. What should we do now?
Let's have a parade.
They have a parade and everything is wonderful. At least until the post-credits.
The angel of death, take me to hell.
Got any luggage? So there you have it. That's DC Cab. The long-forgotten, wonderful comedy. Which, for some reason, every time people do bring it up nowadays, they talk about how it tanked. How do you tank when you had a $7 million budget but did $16 million in the box office? That's called a profit. But apparently, it wasn't received very well critically. Screw the critics.
Definitely. I mean, look at Siskel and Ebert. They hated Home Alone. How many of you loved that movie?
Apparently, though, most of its popularity was international. This movie is a classic in both Poland and Turkey.
I knew I loved those Polish turkeys.
And apparently, it's big in the UK, but in the UK, it's not called DC Cab, it's called Street Fleet.
But don't put nunchucks in your movies and call them Street Fleet.
I don't know why they would have to change the name of DC Cab, though. Like, do they not know about Washington, D.C. in England?
Sore subject, man. War of 1812. Don't bring that up. We love England.
God, you were so stupid. But ultimately, this was a very good, funny comedy. Now, like I said, it is very disturbing that our parents let us watch this to the point of their annoyance by the time I was in kindergarten. Like, I remember being called away from watching this movie and being annoyed because my mom had to get me ready to go to my new kindergarten class the next day.
You know what? I'm glad they did, though. Because they trusted us to know right from wrong, to know better. And look at us. We didn't grow up ginormous perverts. Well, he didn't. Okay, we're not criminals. We're not bad people. He's a family man. And I'm a bartender. We turned out fine. This movie is nostalgia at its best. And made in 1983, it was just 2 years away from being directly in the middle of the 80s, everything 80s going on. It was just the right moment.
I guess, I mean, it was a really good movie. It was a really funny movie, and I'm glad that I grew up watching it because I still love this movie. I still get entertained by it. But I will say this, I would never let my kids watch this movie.
Tyrant.
Right. It's very inappropriate. You guys might be like, oh, you put a decent amount of clips in here. It was very hard finding the clips I could put in here and what I couldn't because of the really bad language, the over-the-top vulgar humor, and of course the one scene that was pretty much wall-to-wall boobs.
All this, and he lets his kids watch Frozen.
Now, some of you who've seen this movie may be like, dude, you didn't put any of the scenes of Bill Maher in this movie. Bill Maher was in this movie, but his character was completely pointless.
Oh, so pointless.
Like, I didn't put him in because I couldn't find even one scene where he made a difference.
Not even the scene when he throws her marital aid in the back and says, oh, yeah, sure, priorities.
Yeah, that part was a little bit funny, but it did nothing for the story.
He had more importance in the movie The Cannibal Women from the Avocado Jungle of Death than in this movie. And you see his chest in that movie.
There was also a lot of controversy about this movie, like I talked about earlier. Mr. T being in it, who was a big child role model in the 80s, because this movie was a very heavy rated R. Like, so rated R that it was like a couple of cuss words away from being rated NC-17. However, I don't get why parents were so outraged, because he was still his, good, wholesome Mr. T in this movie.
Yeah, and what was so bad about this? I mean, for God's sakes, this was bad, but he wasn't even allowed to rescue Arnold and Dudley from the bike shop owner?
I still don't get the controversy with Mr. T being in it, because not only was he himself, same wholesome self, but honestly to me that showed, like, you can still be that way in a world like this. Because in the movie he never cussed, he didn't use any vulgar language or foul jokes, so it is possible.
And he gave that great speech in that one scene before saluting Abraham Lincoln.
So for the critics who bashed it, how freaking dare you? For those of you who have forgotten about it, it's time to remember. And for those of you who haven't seen it, it's time that you go out and you find DC Cab, wherever videos are sold or rented, and buy it or rent it and watch it.
Stream it. And remember, the rhymes that keep our secrets will unfold behind those clouds and written on the pages of a never-ending story.
But yeah, we do hope that through this review that more of you will actually go out and watch and find DC Cab, because honestly, this is one of those comedies that should have been remembered, should have been up there with the comedies like Animal House, The Blues Brothers.
But then again, 1983 was considered a bad year for movies, so a lot of people just probably missed it, didn't catch it.
Right.
It fell between the cracks, but I truly believe that this is a movie worthy of legendary status.
Me too.
It had Gary Busey in it.
Before he was... Well, he was crazy, but he wasn't that crazy. He wasn't...
What do you mean?
Well, this was back when he was like, I'm wild and kooky crazy, not I'm will the defendant please rise crazy. Like, this is before he was going to go into a shop and throw boxes of cookies at people.
I don't know, it seems pretty normal to me.
So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this review of DC Cab, and if you did, make sure to hit like, hit subscribe, hit that little bell so you get notifications for when we post new videos, and leave a comment. Tell me what you guys thought of DC Cab. Love you guys.